Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BASF at K 2025. Welcome aboard our plastics journey. We have a big audience. This is fantastic. We have a big question to solve, namely how to close the loop for PA6 in automotive. And that's why we also have a big panel today. Fantastic. The biggest panel we ever had so far at K. I'm very happy to introduce Anna-Karin Föhrer from ZF, Andreas Kellermann from Pöppelmann, Eleni Kuriumtsi. Am I good? Yes. I'm so happy from Mercedes, and our two BASF colleagues, Martin Schäuble and Olli Geiger. First of all, welcome. Happy that you're here. As I said, we have a big topic to discuss, and also all of your companies have kind of big promises, big visions when it comes to sustainability. Anna-Karin, let's start with you.
So sustainability is and also was a great topic for ZF. It is more or less in 5 pillars, I would say, that we speak sustainable. It is not only the emission reduction, but also for sure circular economy, which we will be talking today a little bit deeper. But sustainability from our perspective is also involving our suppliers in a big mean. We talk about standardization, we talk about reporting, and not to forget people and social responsibilities here. So the main or the most discussed, the most known thing might be the emission reduction target that we set ourselves for 2040 in all 3 scopes. We want to become climate neutral. But let me also give you a brief overview on circular economy. This is not new to ZF. We are already into circularity. We have processes implemented at ZF, being quite well known in the commercial vehicle field for our remanufacturing. And currently we are also engaging in a publicly funded project, which is called SUSMAC Pro. This one deals with rare earth materials, trying to find ways to reprocess, reuse rare earth materials. But for sure, sustainability, circularity is also a big deal when we talk about plastics, not only for packaging or supporting means, but definitely for us as a technical TO1, it has a big deal with our demanding products, with our technical products. And I think it's going to be an interesting talk today on that point as well.
I hope so. That's quite a comprehensive program that you have there, and we will dive much deeper into circularity later on. Andreas, I saw you nodding a couple of times. You can relate to that.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. For us at Pöppelmann, we can say it shortly. Sustainability doesn't mean our initiative, Pöppelmann Blue. Pöppelmann Blue is driven from our shareholder to the operation, and it's our company-wide initiative to do sustainability. And that is what we are faced for, to put targets. For 2025, we have the target to have, for our need, 50% PCR in production. We have the target to have 100% recyclable packaging. And we do it in our 4 divisions. We do plant pots. Somebody probably knows. Here we use over years recycled material. And with that knowledge, we also use this know-how for the other divisions. That means for the automotive sector, we have over years PCR in series. And for us, it's not only to do prototype, also with our important customer Mercedes. We have a good partnership, trial and error, but also find solutions. And I'm pretty happy that with BASF, we have a very good pilot. Hopefully we will go deeper in this topic.
That's the plan.
Yeah, to do it. And for us, the initiative is not top-down. It's, let me say, attitude and the emphasis to do it every day. So therefore, me as a salesperson, in the past I said I was a plastic salesman. Today I more say I'm a waste salesman.
Yeah. We touched on that topic a number of times. But last but not least, Eleni, first of all, welcome back.
Thank you.
Good to have you back. You're a regular on this show, more or less. Mercedes is also quite outspoken when it comes to sustainability targets. Unpack it for us.
So first of all, thank you for hosting me the second time.
Pleasure.
Sustainability is an integral part of our sustainable business strategy. I think a lot of people know that we want to decarbonize our supply chain and our production, and we want to be net carbon neutral in the future. We look into the whole value chain and the entire life cycle of our vehicles, from raw material extraction to the production to the use phase and also recycling processes. We have also the target to increase our recycled materials in our vehicles. We have set ourselves our ambition 2039 with the target to decouple our primary material consumption from our volume growth. So for us, circularity is a very important topic. We started years ago to increase the recycled content in the different vehicles, and we do it together with our suppliers. It's nothing we can do on our own, and this is why we stand here all together. It was a collaboration, and we will need this collaboration for the future.
Absolutely.
Not only for decarbonization, for decoupling or the ELV targets, but also to have in mind the human rights, environment standards, and be transparent and be together in initiatives to minimize or negative impacts on social and the environment.
That's exactly as you said, because it needs so many different players, we also have such a full stage here. But we also have something which is influencing the whole discussion, and that is not here on stage, but it exists. ELVR, End-of-Life Vehicle Regulation. Olli, can you shed some light on the ELVR for us?
Unfortunately, I cannot announce the final status.
Not today.
Not today, no. So because this is still under negotiation. But at least we have reached now the final phase of this negotiation between the European Commission, Parliament and Council. So we can expect that by the end of the year, we know what it is about. It's definitely about quotas. Something maximum 25% recycled content for plastics in the cars.
From cars.
For the cars, and that will start probably sometime 2031, 32, we'll see. And could be less. The question is, what will be counted into the quota? Is it only post-consumer? Is it also post-industrial? Which you certainly do already, and we also have in our portfolio yet. Question will also be about closed loops. I mean, this is exactly what we are talking today. We are talking about closed loop recycling. So what can we do with the end-of-life vehicle? The plastics coming from there, can we bring it back to the car? Because part of the quota will definitely be a closed loop quota. And then, that's important for us as a chemical industry, what kind of technologies will be accepted. And we are sure we need chemical technologies in addition to mechanical recycling. And I'm really emphasizing that in addition to mechanical recycling, because mechanical recycling makes a lot of sense. If it works, and it fulfills the requirements, we all should do it, and we do it. We have it in our portfolio. But we also have, in addition to that, to have chemical recycling technologies. That's what we are talking today. And most of all, we all, and I guess I can talk for you as well, we need clarity now. Because if we want to go into investments for the future, for those technologies we are going to talk about today and on the fair, then we need really clarity and reliability on these regulations, because we cannot change our targets every year.
Yeah. I mean, this call for clarity and this need for clarity has already been mentioned a couple of times here in other dialogues, also across different industries, because other industries are facing the same problem. Let's assume ELVR comes out as we can expect it right now. How optimistic, how confident are you that you will be within the scope?
So I would say for some parts, for some products, it is manageable with the material available on the market today, as Olli just described. The mechanical recycling is a well-known process, but I would say for others it's challenging, and it will be challenging when you look at the time frame. The material flows that are currently not they are there, but not a lot of material is there that could be suitable. So I think there will be a lot of investigation to be done still, and we started that with the project we are talking today. So I'm confident that there's technology to solve or to fulfill the ELVR demands, but it is work, and I would say the ELVR is something that we can take also positive, because it might give a boost in the sustainability approaches that we are currently talking about. So I think it could be a starter for new business models as well as for other recycling approaches.
Confident, but also with a good amount of respect. Is this how you would also phrase it?
We have respect, mainly for the situation that also this year the recycling capacity is falling down. And that's really a mess, that we will lose the main sources which we need in the future. And for me, I cannot understand why we discuss and wait for the ELV. You said it will come. And as you said, Olli, it's definitely the trend that we will have a really huge impact. So let us do things today. And I'm pretty happy that we have such a big audience and we discuss about these topics. And to be pretty honest, in my opinion, the main manager, they did not figure out that due to also cost is important, but this topic is the main topic. And when the final negotiation has ended, then that will be the next thing. Oh, ELV, how should we manage it? For us at Peppelmann, we're happy. We like these things. We did it over the years, but it brings for us more effort to do. And I talked about our targets. Our targets for this year are not only for environment, business targets. Each quarter we have to explain, do we achieve these targets? And it is driven by our shareholder. I'm very happy that we have shareholders who put power on this topic. So therefore, it needs partnerships. And yes, you talked about mechanical recycling. It's not a secret that we as a Peppelmann like pretty much mechanical recycling. But we also see that for parts as these, we use further technology. So therefore, we are happy that we not only stand here and explain, make blah, 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 that we also work on these topics.
Yeah, and actually show them. We can show stuff today. Eleni, so if I listen to Andreas, ELVR is a bit like Christmas. Yeah, you know it will come. So we better be prepared. It's mid-October. Are you prepared?
We are definitely prepared. We were not waiting for the ELVR to increase our recycled content. We started in 2005. I'm not sure if a lot of people know this, that we have internal targets since 2005 for the recycled content of our vehicles. And we increasing this amount from series to series. A very good example is our newly launched MMA, where we increased the recycled content 4 times in comparison to the predecessor. And this was a huge step. All the other series, like the new GLC, will keep this trend and increase this trend. So yes, there are a few topics which are not finally decided by the Commission, but we are still waiting. And as Olli mentioned, we cannot rely just on mechanical recycling and just on one feedstock stream. We need the diversity of different recycling technologies and different feedstocks to find the best solution for each material and each component. And this depends on the requirements of the components.
Yeah. Martin, I'd also like to get your point on the technology openness, on the different recycling routes that we can take here.
Yeah, so it was touched recently, so I really like the comments here. So looking at the ELVR and the necessary volumes and the accessible volumes today for mechanical recycling, I assume that the volumes will not be sufficient to do all the job with mechanical recycling. I think we agree here. And then there is the question, how does the waste look like in future? Yeah? And the simple answer is we don't know yet. And that's why we prepare our toolbox on recycling technologies to be prepared for the waste we have in future. If you have very clean waste streams, mechanical recycling will be the way to go, of course. But let's assume that's not enough. Then we need additional technology to keep more carbon in the loop. And today we need the technology openness also in regulatory to allow us to develop and to have ready then the tools we need in future.
And one of those technologies, to get a bit more into details, because I also know, Andreas, you can't wait to show us the part, is PA6 solvent-based.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little more about that? And then Martin, you will also give.
Yeah, it started last year. We were invited from BASF to the Seeufertreffen. Do not know in English.
Yeah.
And there...
That's English.
No, and there are two guys. The one from BASF talked about chemical recycling. And we as a Polyamide said, chemical, no, we listened. So we saw the possibility that this is a technology for PA6, because at that moment and also today, we did not have the solution. So therefore we have the demand. We have a great customer, Mercedes. Please buy the new MMA, pretty nice car. And we agreed on, hey, let's start a pilot. And at the end, I'm happy to say that we are in the combined engine at Mercedes with this material.
Oh.
So and I can explain the technology like tea making. Yeah, you have hot water, you extract the tea from the sleeve, and you let all the dirt and things in the bottom, but you have the good material which you have used. But I think Martin is much better in the technology to explain it, how it works.
But at least I understood it this way, so I don't know.
So I'm taking the complicated part, but well explained. So with the solvent-based recycling, we started with automotive shredder. So pure automotive shredded, state-of-the-art shredder. Then we had removed the metals on commercial machines, so this is all done state-of-the-art already. Then we started to sort out the plastic from that. Our plastics to have a start for our recycling process. Then the tea bag magic happened. It's a little bit more complicated, so you have to take the right solvent, have to adjust the process. But in principle, you selectively dissolve one polymer, the polymer you want to have. All the other stuff can be removed by that, and you end up with a polymer without fillers, without additives. And this gives me, as compounder, the freedom to adjust the recipe and the final product then on the needs of the application.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anna-Karin, you took a different route.
Yes.
With your product. Tell us a bit about that.
So we went a little bit deeper as well. We are talking about depolymerization with that product. Looks pretty normal. You wouldn't see that it is something special, but let me explain where this product, the stabilizer link, which is a very demanding chassis part, is coming from. So the basis of this new product were oil-contaminated end-of-life oil pans, which are pretty, let me say, dirty products to scrap.
Really dirty.
Yeah, you had the pleasure to meet them. Yeah. We pay currently for getting them scrapped. So nobody really likes the material. It is not really seen as a resource at the moment, but for us it's a resource. And together with BASF, we got a great opportunity at last year's Fakuma fair, so pretty exactly a year ago. So this is also something that is quite, I would say, astonishing that we made it in a year from those oil pans, dirty oil pans, to this fabulous, fancy-looking new part with the depolymerization approach.
I want to add one thing. You mentioned before that you were a bit nervous about developing advanced recycling technologies. So everyone is talking about this competition between mechanical and chemical recycling. And you showed that there shouldn't be any competition. We know you as a supplier for our typical mechanical recycling parts. even if they're from pre-consumer scrap or post-consumer scrap. And now this is a very great development into new technologies with new feedstocks, and this is what we can do together and implement these materials in our products. So thank you very much for that development.
That's good spirit. Martin, anything to add from a technical perspective on?
Yes, I really like this. To start from the beginning, I really like the material, because if you have a look, I invite all of you, one by one, maybe, to go to the other side, to our recycling booths. There you can see the oil pans. And if you have them in hands, so that they are dripping with oil still, the material is soaked also with oil, so we all agree that's not a part you want to recycle mechanically. So I really like this waste, because it's the typical story where we can add value by advanced technologies. And it's also a typical waste stream to then employ a more advanced technology where we break down the polymer chains into monomers we can really chemically purify. So that's our business, that's BASF core business, to handle organic molecules, to make them pure again. And we can use that in that case to have really working virgin-like properties at the end, where we as a producer are also sure that we can guarantee the standard high quality we have normally in our products.
So, from the perspective of you three, what would be, these are great examples, definitely. What would be the requirements for you to really scale them up also, the two loops? Whoever wants to start.
First of all, we need a lot of feedstocks.
Yeah.
We need different feedstocks, and we need different recycling technologies to scale them up. And it should be allowed for the EL4R to use different technologies in order to reach these targets. And I think if we can use this different feedstock and recycled materials, we can scale also these technologies for the future. And if we can scale them, they are also economically viable.
Same take from you, Andreas?
Yeah.
But.
No, but. Yes, and also
Yes,
no.
and. Yes, and.
Yes, technology is pretty important. At the moment, it's beyond technology. What do I mean? It's the way people act. So I'm pretty happy to do it also with ZF. And to find people in engineering, in quality, it's a big, big thing, who have the courage to test it. And what I can explain together with BASF, with the customer, that we have the possibilities for testing, yes, also for this part. It goes into, as I explained, if we have one breakdown or field action, yes, 50,000 euros are nothing. So I'm happy to work in a company who say, okay, it's a little bit risk, but we go as a step. So therefore, I want to motivate that more people go the calculated risk. So therefore, for me, the key is the people behind, the attitude, not to work in home office, do as it always was, come out, work together. Also here, the K trade show is really a good platform to discuss it. Yeah. And our booth, we talked mostly about material. And we are asked, are you a material supplier? No, we do plastic injection molding. So and therefore, yes, do it, speak about it, do more.
This mix of materials, people, attitude, mindset, calculated risk-taking.
Yeah, I would say partnership is quite important here. You see, we have the tier ones, we have the OEMs, but we also have the material suppliers. So we thought this process through a potential supply chain already, having this ELVR in mind, but also keeping track on how we produce our products. Here I can just say we've been using our tool that was in place, which we produce virgin material with. We've been working with the requirements that are coming from Mercedes as an OEM. So this showcase is already manufactured and tested in a way that you can see its real potential, and the potential is definitely there, I would say. But partnerships are important because everyone has to bring in their knowledge to make a good end product, I would say.
Olli, you've been a part of those partnerships also in other fields. You'll actually be back on stage already in half an hour from now to talk about a different type of partnership. How important is that from your perspective, and how has it changed also over the years?
I mean, it was already said. I mean, you always have to consider the entire value chain, because it doesn't start with BASF actually. Martin said that. You have to assess the waste streams that you're using. You have to do some pre-treatments before you go into depolymerization or solvent-based recycling. So you have to cover the entire value chain. You always have to consider also what we will do after the pilot, because it's a pilot yet. So it's not fully commercialized. And that's why we always have to have all disciplines in mind. Economics, of course, but also we're talking about circularity. We should not forget carbon emissions. So if we produce a material which has a really bad carbon footprint, no one will ever use it. This is why we had done an LCA, very extended and advanced LCA here together with ETH Zurich. And so we know what we're doing here and how we can improve it further to really bring down carbon footprints at the same time as we achieve circularity targets. So those collaborations are important, and collaboration comes with people. That's why I can only say thank you to all on the stage and the companies and the people behind. This is how you do it. Not complaining, doing.
Not complaining, doing. And keep on doing it. And that's why we have another K-Show in 2028. Eleni, of course, you can come back. You can come back anytime. It would be your third time then. You are, of course, also invited. But I'm wondering what we are going to talk about in 2028. What will be the topic of our talk, and where will we have landed? What's the status? ELVR in place, not any more prototypes, mass production?
Yeah, I think we will increase our recycled materials, but I think this is then an old story. I don't think that we stand here and talk about recycling technologies or mechanical recycling. Perhaps it's a good time to start to talk about renewable carbon, how we can defossilize our plastics, to find ways how we can have sustainable carbon in our plastics and use it in different ways. So I think we last week we announced that we are the first OEM who is a member of the Renewable Carbon Initiative to push this transformation in more renewable carbon and plastics.
Very good. So we already have one wish on the list for 2028. Andreas, how about you?
My wish is today that we should pay more money for the recyclers. Because we talk about capacity. This is a branch which is really effective from a high cost pressure. So when we lose these companies, we will miss them in the future. And and I'm pretty sure that we say, in 3 years, we should have to do more. We should have to do more.
Hopefully.
Yes, because in 1 or 2 years, top management will say, oh, no, focus on this topic. So, and that's so clear that it will come. So, we have to do more. Point.
Anna-Karin, your topic for 2028?
I think we should not only talk about being faster, being better, but also having the big whole thing into the minds into consideration. I think closing loop will still be a topic, and for sure, I hope that we can not only see one part, but several parts. That would be great in 3 years' time. You see what we've done in 1 year. So maybe 3 years is a good way to go for more.
Okay. If we bring more parts, that's okay. If we bring more people, we will need a bigger stage, definitely. Olli and Martin, your wish for 2028?
Yeah, so I think our topic is we are on a journey. And I think we all have to take it on as a journey and to go step by step, going further, improving the systems, having a look at the whole value chain, having strong partnerships on your side with the customers, but also on the other side, supply-wise. So that's the task for the next years.
Okay. Really curious to hear from you.
As a marketing guy, I have to say we need to commercialize it. Yeah, that's what it is, because it is needed. Yeah? And I fully agree to what Andreas said. Yeah? We need to really have respect for the mechanical recyclers and add on top more and probably advanced technologies that can handle more tricky waste streams.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've seen two fantastic examples for closing the loop in PA6 in automotive. I think we've seen a fantastic collaboration across the value chain here on stage. I hope you will stay with us for a couple of minutes to answer questions, to get in touch with the audience. Thank you so much for joining us here on our plastics journey, and we'll see you again in 2028 with your wish list. Okay? Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
BASF. We create chemistry.